Bowman here from BWOne, and quite frankly, the Galaxy S6 needs to be a gigantic hit for Samsung this year. So the invites just went out for an event happening on Sunday, March 1st in Barcelona during Mobile World Congress. This is most likely where we're going to hear about the new Galaxy S6 and possibly another Galaxy Edge type device called the Galaxy S6 Edge or Galaxy Edge. I'm not sure how they're going to actually name that one, but there's a good possibility, especially if you kind of look here at how the teaser photo kind of looks here. You can sort of see something that sort of looks like there's a bit of a curved display, and you're looking at sort of the end of the edge here. So that's going to be the big thing that hopefully we're going to hear from Samsung. And quite frankly, like I said, they need to make this a big hit because we knew last year with the Galaxy S5, it didn't wow a whole lot of reviewers, and the sales slowed down for Samsung honestly last year. They still made a ton of money, of course, but not as much as they made the previous year. So they know they have to come with a big hit, and it seems like they're going to be doing that, especially with the rumored specs. Some of the key specs we're going to talk about here is the fact that there's still going to be a 5.1-inch display, but it's going to be Quad HD with a very, very high PPI, roughly around 557. So it's going to make it a lot easier to see it outdoors, and also indoors. It's going to have some type of dimming, so it's going to look still good as at the same time to sort of say battery life on the phone here itself. It's going to come with an octa-core processor from Samsung. So 8-core processor from Samsung is supposed to be the rumor here. Now this is a big deal kind of because previously, usually when they debut devices, and usually when I'm at the press events, guys, when we go to those, Samsung typically usually displays out the international version, which usually has their processor inside it, which is the Exynos. Now, usually when it hits the United States, you usually get a different variant in the Snapdragon processor, usually the latest version of the Snapdragon processor that comes out. And them switching is a pretty big deal, and I actually think it's a pretty good idea from Samsung to do this. The only reason I kind of say that is because they really design everything around TouchWiz, and that's pretty much what their software differentiator really is. And it seems like usually when I'm at an event and I use one of their devices, and usually Exynos based, it seems like TouchWiz flies, everything was very smooth, everything's nice. But by the time we get the US versions and we get the Snapdragon 810 and all the carrier bloat on it, it seems to kind of change a little bit, not be as snappy and smooth as you saw it when we had it at the events and so on. You can check out some of our past event videos on that, such as like Galaxy Note and Note Edge video where we did the hands-on at the event. All the info you need to know video, you can check that out to kind of see there. And past ones as well, you kind of get an idea. So that's a pretty big deal, interesting coming from Samsung. And it's also going to allow them to make software development easy across the board, really offer one device that's going to work for all, no matter where you are, no matter who or what carrier it is. Pretty big deal. It's going to be something I think that down the line is going to be a good thing for Samsung. So let's hope that's kind of true. All right, getting back to the specs here, we're on a little tangent there. We're looking at a 20 megapixel camera with optical image stabilization. Anything to make the camera better is obviously going to be a good thing here. We know the Galaxy Note 4 camera is pretty much the best camera in an Android phone right now. Amazing specs. And it's pretty much one of the best smartphone cameras across the board. So adding some more megapixels there, hopefully maybe a little bit of a bigger sensor to go with those megapixels as well, will really help out, especially optical image stabilization, hopefully improve the lighting, hope we get some stunning photos out of it. And it's supposed to be 32, 64, 120 gigabytes of storage. I hope that stays true, and also hopefully we'll still get a removable battery, and we'll still get the ability to add micro SD card storage. I know the rumors that this phone's going to have a metal and sort of glass body, going away from Samsung's typical sort of plastic or polycarbonate build. So if they're going to go more to that premium material, sometimes it kind of forces them in some ways to seal things off. But we saw with the Galaxy Alpha that they could still kind of keep things where you have a removable battery, but it didn't have a micro SD card slot. So hopefully they'll be able to kind of keep both of those. That's one of the staples of Samsung, especially with a lot of their phones. It's always been a removable battery, be able to expand the storage. So hopefully they continue doing that. Although you still have the ability to add storage on phones that even don't have that. If you check out some of the micro USB, like the Kingston Data Traveler Micro Duo, that's the one I'm thinking of there. Long name, Data Traveler Micro Duo. That's one of the ones you can add, mini micro USB to the bottom of your phone and add some storage to it as well, even though it isn't built in or sits nicely inside the phone. You guys kind of get the idea there. So those are some of the three big specs that they're really talking about. They're also talking about possibly having a fast charge you can charge for 10 minutes to get about 4 hours of battery life. That'd be pretty amazing if they can pull that off. That'll definitely be helpful, especially a lot of people that don't always charge throughout the day or keep their phone on a charger, but they need a quick charge as fast as possible to go out for the night. That's going to be a pretty cool thing. So we're hearing about all these rumors, and also the fact there's going to be two variants. Is going to be pretty much a standard Galaxy S6 and then a curved display one, similar to what we saw with the Galaxy Note Edge. I think that'd be pretty cool if they can offer both of those, and it would be really epic if they could do that with the curved display being on both sides. So somebody that's left-handed and right-handed can use it, and also for sort of multitasking, sort of layout purposes, being able to sort of use both sides to kind of add your shortcuts or add a clock or widgets or however you want to handle the sort of the curved edge display part of it. Having it on both sides and kind of having the middle kind of free, I think would really help in terms of multitasking and sort of navigating the UI and such like that. Another thing that I'm hoping here with the Galaxy X6 is that now with having Android 5.0 and Google and Samsung working closer together on TouchWiz and to really not duplicate features and really streamline things, I'm really hoping that they're going to focus specifically on the key software that people need and provide you with a really good user experience, hopefully a very spectacular user experience going forward. And one last thing that I want to talk about that we might see coming from Samsung here with the Galaxy S6 is you're going to possibly see Samsung Pay, which is going to be their pay service to compete with Apple Pay and Google Wallet. Now, what I think the trick with that, especially when I'm working with Google, is I think Google might be working with Samsung, make Samsung Pay and Google Wallet, maybe sort of one thing there or one and the same to get Samsung users sort of on board with it as well. If you call Samsung Pay, that's a very brand recognizable name that might get a lot of users this is a lot of Android users are on Samsung phones to use that. Maybe Google Wallet is sort of this payment system that sort of backs up behind it. That could be really interesting as well too, and I think that might be where they're going. But that's all we know right now. Some of the predictions here with the Galaxy S6. Let me know what your thoughts are below. What do you expect? Are you excited? Do you want to see two variants of the phone? Do you want to see one with just both having a curved display or two curved displays on each side? Just share your thoughts below, comments below, and what you guys think. Also be sure to connect with us on all our social networks and on our main website as usual. The links to those in the description. And always remember to live your tech world in high definition. Thanks for watching.